Okay, guys, so back home, South Carolina. So I just want to say, when I went back home, or when I envisioned what my trip would be when I came back home, I felt like I was gonna be living it up. I was gonna be partying. I was gonna be hanging with the girls, chilling with the fam. I literally packed my whole closet to go back home because I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be outside. And I get back and it was literally the same the same situation that was back in Phoenix. Now, of course, I had my moments where I hung out. I caught up with a few of my friends and things like that, but I don't know if I thought this was gonna be hot girl summer or what. And I had all this pent up energy, like, okay, yeah, I could finally have a good time. I could finally let loose and escape my reality. But it just showed me, like, man, you take you everywhere you go. It don't matter where you go. Whatever you're dealing with, whatever is bothering you, whatever you're anxious about, it is going to follow you everywhere you go. You can't escape it. And I realized that, like, the first week of me being back in South Carolina. That I have to face my stuff. Like, even if I came back to South Carolina to stay, it's going to be the same situation. I'm still going to have to start over. I'm still going to have to find a new job. I'm still going to have to find a place. You know, yeah, I got friends here, but they have families too. They have things that are going on. And that's what I realized. It's like, I'm home, and I expected everybody to be like, oh, I'm home. Come celebrate with me. And it's like, no, girl, you left. We still have lives here. And that was kind of hard for me to realize, because that was kind of hard for me to deal with, because it was like, there's no escape. It's like you left all of these people behind, and you expect them to stop what they're doing just because you home. And it doesn't work like that. And I realized that. But yeah, so I expected everybody to stop what they were doing and come celebrate with me now that I was home, not realizing that when I left, everybody still had to continue on doing life. They still had their jobs, they still had their kids that they had to tend to. So that was kind of a big wake-up call. Like, either way, even if I go back home, like, I still have to start over, essentially. So I remember, like, kind of just, I would wake up every morning, turn on YouTube. I watch YouTube videos all day, and just kind of like just think, like, each day I had like a new endeavor or a new business idea that I would try to do, just trying to like hurry up and think of some way that I could escape the place that I was in the moment. But then I also had to realize that me being desperate, me just clinging on to ideas and clinging on to stuff, that's just going to continue to allow me to waste more time. And I had to sit and ask myself questions on, like, why do I want to do these things? Is it because I see other people doing them, or is it because it's something that I'm actually passionate about? And I realized that, like, a lot of stuff I was doing, especially back in Dallas, a lot of the stuff that I was doing was based off of things that I felt like I should do. Especially a lot of like the ministry-based stuff that I was doing, I felt like it was me kind of trying to like adapt to a certain mode of how I feel like I was supposed to live my life. And I feel like when we get saved, we just automatically feel like, oh, I'm supposed to start a ministry. I'm supposed to bring souls to Christ. And it's like, you have to focus on yourself first and your own relationship and who you are and what your relationship with God is first, before you try to help other people, or before you try to start trying to guide people. And I think that was the biggest thing that I realized during that time at home. And me just kind of like asking myself questions like, who am I? Who am I when I don't have any influence like on social media or with people around me? And I think that's why, like, also in the beginning when I first got saved, I was saying like I didn't want to be so quick to join like a church home, because I think you do have a tendency to just like adapt to the people that's around you, and you take on their characteristics of how you feel like you're supposed to be now. And I feel like over the past years, that's kind of what I've just been doing, just picking up different personality traits of whatever phase that I'm going through in that time, and me realizing like I still don't really know who I am. So me trying to start a business right now, or me trying to figure out where I'm going next in life, I can't do that until I figure out who I really am, what I really like, what do I want to do for me, what's going to bring me happiness, and not just think about the money or something that's expected of me. So that was the reality that hit me back in South Carolina. And like I said, you know, with me trying to take on like that mode of being saved and things like that, you know, I stopped, like, I monitored like the kind of music I was listening to. I stopped going out. I stopped hanging out with my friends as much too, because then I couldn't like do the things that they were still doing. But this time when I came home, like, all that went out the window. I was in the club, I was drinking, listening to whatever I wanted to, and it kind of just like made me realize, like, or made me ask, like, had I really changed, or was I really just suppressing everything that I like to do already? So that is another thing that kind of challenged like the way I see myself and the way I feel like I'm supposed to portray myself. Because even in doing those things, like, I felt guilty the whole time. And I had to kind of explore, like, do I feel guilty because I think I'm not supposed to enjoy these things, or is it a guilt, or is it a true conviction that I feel like that I have for myself? And that's the thing, I'm still kind of trying to decipher that. But yeah, that was kind of like, I don't even have words for it. That was kind of like just my wake up call, I guess. Me like really facing myself at that time, and me realizing that I needed to sit down somewhere, which is a big reason why I stopped even making videos, because, you know, it gets exhausting trying to, even though I want to share my journey with y'all, like, I have to realize that sometimes I just have to take a step back and process it for myself first before I bring it on camera. And that's why I was just like, I don't even want to record nothing else. I didn't even know if I was going to come back at all. So it's like, I'm trying to go on this journey and take y'all with me, but it's very exhausting. It's very draining at times. So I just have to, I guess, take it one day at a time, 1 month at a time. It's me realizing, like, I don't have to have it figured out now, and I don't have to have it figured out to bring it on camera either. But it's just me sharing my feelings. It's not necessarily giving advice or being responsible for what somebody else's decisions are based off of my videos. It's just sharing my journey. And that's what I want to stress too. Like, I don't want nobody watching my videos trying to do what I'm doing, because as y'all can see, I made plenty of mistakes and I'm going to make plenty more. So just use it as like a guideline, I guess, or hopefully it's comfort. Hopefully it's things that, or thoughts that you guys have already come across, and it's just confirmation for you. But I don't want nobody watching my videos like following what I do to a T, because I don't know what I'm doing, y'all. I really don't. And that's what I realized, like I said, in that month. I have to strip away everything, and I have to figure out who I am. And I also don't regret like going back to the past, because I feel like a lot of times we demonize the past, but if you still feel a pulling to that, if you still feel like it's something that is worth exploring, or like you feel a curiosity to something that happened before, I feel like it's necessary to go back, because it's obviously something in there, or something in that situation or that relationship or whatever that doesn't have closure. And I feel like you can go back as many times as you need to, and eventually you're going to get fed up, eventually you're going to get tired of it, and then that's when you'll be able to move forward and not keep looking back. Because now that I've done that, I feel, even like certain relationships, there's certain friendships that I entertained back then, and certain like romantic relationships that I entertained too, just because I was tired of being alone. And me going back for that final time made me see like, okay, no, it was in the past for a reason. And now because I went back, I don't have no more what ifs. Now I can move forward without looking back. So those are the two main lessons I learned. Figure out who I am before I try to birth something new and try to help people, and then go back to the past as many times as you need to, because if that's what's going to help you really move on, then that's fine. It's no timeline, it's no time limit. We feel like we limit it in time, but you know, nothing is wasted. Everything is going to make sense in the grand scheme. And it's hard to remember that in the time that it's happening, but it will. So at this point, I'm just letting stuff happen and, see what goes from there. But yeah, I'm gonna end this part here. I have one more part to kind of summarize everything that's happened in that last season, and then we'll be moving on to new content. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.